What's up, comic book fans? And welcome to Comics Icons. Now, JJ, what they call me. And today, we got more Avengers. This time with the Avengers Annual #1, the Infinity Watch. Now, the Infinity Watch is something that's been around since the 1990s. They started off with Adam Warlock in a lineup that included Drax the Destroyer, Moondragon, Gamora, and Pip the Troll. And then there was another iteration of the team led by Doctor Strange, and then another led by Loki. But now there's a new Infinity Watch team. See, in 2018's Infinity Wars, Adam Warlock gave the Infinity Stones sentience so that they could choose who safeguarded them. And most of the stones flew away from Earth to select their new hosts, and they went on to choose a cosmic group to serve as the new Infinity Watch. The Time Stone went on to choose Overtime, the Space Stone chose Quantum, the Reality Stone chose Star, the Power Stone chose Apex, the Mind Stone went to World Mind, and Multitude was chosen for the Soul Stone. But in the Incredible Hulk Annual, World Mind was killed by Thanos, causing the Mind Stone to instead choose Colleen Wing, who had been serving as bodyguard to World Mind. And in addition to all of that, Thanos had turned the living embodiment of death into a new Death Stone. But this new stone was used to resurrect Phil Coulson, which then immediately chose him as its bearer in Thanos Annual #1. But guess what, guys? The Mad Titan Thanos, of course, as always, is still after all of those stones. So if you guys are ready to find out if this new team is able to stop the Mad Titan before he can reconnect with the stones, then you guys know what time it is. Let's get it. So we kick this issue off with the Mad Titan Thanos. And there are some that feel like they know what makes him spill blood like he does. They believe that it's love. But his love for death led him to imprison her in a new stone, one that immediately fled his possession. But it's not love that drives him, and it's not hate either, nor loneliness or anger or a lust for power. Instead, what drives him is the knowledge that he's right and everyone else is wrong. He's driven by duty, and only he knows the volatility of the Infinity Stones. And only he knows that the best time to strike is before the stones can cohere. And he feels as though the universe is counting on him. Meanwhile, we pick up with Thor, who's flying over Manhattan en route to meeting up with Captain Marvel. And right now, the rest of the Avengers are stuck in the Impossible City until Tony Stark can figure out a way to teleport through a mystery force field that's currently holding them, which Captain Marvel admits is Thanos' doing, according to Nick Fury. But since they're all trapped right now, Thor and Captain Marvel are on their own, and the Infinity Stones have found hosts, some reasonable people, and some not so much. But Thor lets Captain Marvel know that there's also a 7th stone now called the Death Stone, and it is resurrected and bonded with Phil Coulson, who they meet up with along with Nick Fury as well. And it's here the Avengers duo is told that this is where the stone bearers are gathering, and Thanos is on his way. See, Hector Bautista, aka Overtime, had paid Fury and Coulson a visit from the future and told them that the stone bearers would be battling Thanos before the day was out. And when Thor tells them that they've got no time to waste, Phil Coulson decides to stay behind. The stones pump each other up when in close proximity, and he fears what would happen if he gets close to them. So Captain Marvel insists that Fury stay behind with Coulson while she and Thor handle the situation with the stone bearers, who Fury warns look to be arguing right now. So the two Avengers need to hurry. And then we pick up with the stone bearers as they argue with one another, but Colleen attempts to be the voice of reason within the group as she tries to calm everyone down. But Star, however, feels like Colleen is taking charge, and Star feels that she herself should be in charge, since Colleen possesses the Mind Stone, but Star possesses the Reality Stone, which she feels trumps the Mind Stone. Plus, she has big plans for them, and doesn't want those plans screwed up because one of them has morals. But then they're joined by Thor and Captain Marvel, who are welcomed by Colleen. But Captain Marvel tells them that they're here to help, and the first thing they need to do is to split the stone bearers up, since close proximity could make them volatile. But Star thinks that the Avengers are here to take their power away from them, and without hesitation, she's on go mode and immediately attacks Thor and Captain Marvel. But the Avengers are able to break free of Star's reality constructs. But Thor is then again attacked by another stone bearer in Apex, who thinks that Thor is here to steal his strength, and he punches the hell out of Thor, now prompting Coulson and his Death Stone to leave his post to get involved. Meanwhile, Captain Marvel attempts to fight back, but then she's split between space by Quantum, while Star enjoys their teamwork right now. But not all of them are enjoying this moment, as Multitude is dealing with a powerful soul that's trying to break free, just as Phil Coulson now enters the fighting arena, although he has no idea how he got there, so he's pretty much being driven by the Death Stone. But Overtime does offer to pause time to help Multitude out. But the soul is way too powerful, as we then see that it's a construct of Thanos, who puts the beat down on all of the stone bearers. Meanwhile, Apex is holding his own against Thor, all while he still praises how much Thor means to him. But he still feels as though Thor and the Avengers are trying to take their power. And at the same time, Captain Marvel, while still being split between space by Quantum, manages to get a free shot on him and blast him with her energy blast. And she also checks in on Tony Stark to see if they've been able to break free, to which he tells her that they still need to hold out a few minutes longer. And while Star is feeling herself right now, bragging that her power can actually change the world, Colleen has something to say about that, while Thor and Captain Marvel manage to take down the Thanos construct. But then, the real Thanos arrives, and he completely takes over as he blasts Overtime, knocks Captain Marvel into next week, and smashes Thor's head into the ground, and then he tosses him away like a rag doll. And then Phil Coulson tries to step in and stop Thanos. But Thanos recognizes the Death Stone in him, and he boasts that he created it. Therefore, it will not act against him. But Apex does act against him, and he uses his power to punch Thanos into a mountain, while Star instructs Quantum to teleport Thanos to the sun. And when Thanos tries to get up and blast Quantum, he manages to reroute space and direct Thanos' blast right back onto himself. But while Apex tries to go in for another attack, Thanos notices that Quantum still left the portal open, and he reaches through and he rips Quantum's stone from him, ending his life. But Apex still charges at Thanos, although he doesn't realize that Thanos now possesses the Space Stone, and Thanos opens up a portal allowing him to now rip the Power Stone away from Apex, killing him as well. And then Colleen tries to intervene using the power of the Mind Stone, but that too is ineffective, as Thanos ends her time amongst the living as well and takes the Mind Stone. And now, after talking all that BS, Star is completely petrified and she tries to run away. But Thanos stops her dead in her tracks and then leaves her dead on the ground and now possessing the Reality Stone. And when Thor comes back and tries to stop Thanos, he's blasted back while Captain Marvel is slammed to the ground. And then Multitude is simply smashed into pieces, giving the Soul Stone to Thanos, who now turns his attention to Phil Coulson and the Death Stone. While Overtime runs to check on Captain Marvel and asks for advice on whether or not to run, she tells him that Coulson is buying him time right now, so he needs to assess the situation and act on a plan. Because when you're a time traveler, you've always got one more chance, as she too dies from her injuries. And now for Phil Coulson, his time too is up as Thanos rips the Death Stone from him, leaving only Overtime, who Thanos thought was already dead. But Overtime assesses the situation and needs a moment still to make a plan. So he does just that, and he pauses time to take a moment. And now he knows exactly what he must do, because he's already done it. As he stands in the present, he also moves through the past, manipulating the flow of events in order to arrive precisely here, where now two versions of him now exist in the same moment and stand before the Mad Titan, confusing him as to how this is happening. But Overtime tells him that in a moment, he's gonna go back in time and let Thanos kill him, which means that the new version won't be here to ensure that this timeline exists, and the temporal bubble will then collapse and time will resume its normal course, essentially creating a time paradox that will shatter reality. unless Thanos gives up the stones. Then he tells Thanos that although he loves death, he also knows that he loves his own life just as much. But then the older version of Overtime goes back to be killed by Thanos, leaving the newer version to await Thanos' decision, who reluctantly releases the stones, bringing the stone bearers all back. And now that the stone bearers are all back and all of the deaths are reversed, the stone bearers all disperse away from this place, while Fury is freaked out by dying and then coming back. And as Thanos too leaves, he leaves the remaining Avengers with a message that he looks forward to killing them both again soon. And as Tony Stark finally radios in that he's managed to disable the force field and he's ready to join them, that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the issue. So what did you guys think of this issue? That was crazy, right? Thanos straight up wrecked everybody. But now the Infinity Watch is together and hopefully learning how to fully use their abilities. A feat that I hope to see in the upcoming Infinity Watch series, which debuts this December. And it looks to be a pretty promising series. But what do you guys think about the new Infinity Watch team? And what do you hope to see from them in the future? I definitely want to see them interact more with the Avengers. The full Avengers team, that is. But you guys know I want to hear all of your thoughts and theories down in the comments. And as always, if you guys enjoyed this video and this channel, and you'd like to support the channel, then you can do so by stopping by the Comics Icons store and picking up some Comics Icons merchandise, including the background music heard right here in this video, available for download. Or by joining the Iconic Fan Club channel membership. And there'll be a link in the description to join. But with your membership, you'll get loyalty badges, member shoutouts in these videos, and up to 20% off of Comics Icons merchandise from the Comics Icons store. And even a chance to pick a video of your own choosing for me to post. Plus, we've got tiers to the memberships as well, beginning at just 99 cents. Or you guys can donate to the channel with a super thanks. And if you're not able to do any of that, then you can still help out this channel's future tremendously by dropping a like, share, and subscribe in the Comics Icons for more icons in the comic book world. But ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time.